Good morning, everyone. This is Curtis Hawks, Chief Marketing Officer over here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and want to thank everybody for taking some time out of their Monday morning to be on the call with us. And I think we've got a really good topic today. Um, when we think about marketing and prospecting, part of what everybody needs is a marketing funnel. And what I mean by that is you're always going to have people that are uh, showing interest, right? And so one of the things that we commonly refer to in the marketing arena is what's called a path to purchase. And what I mean by that is the point in time from when somebody thinks about doing something to the point in time that they actually do it. And so that exists in all aspects of life. When you think about in the context of someone's going to buy a home, as an example, right? They don't just decide they're going to buy a home and then go do it the next week. They do research and think about it. Same thing with buying a car. It's no different in the financial services space. And so in the context of the financial services space, that path to purchase on average is roughly 9 months. And so what that means is somebody that maybe responds to a direct mail piece or comes to a workshop or submits their information as a lead may or may not be ready to do something right now, but there's a thought in their head to do something. And so one of the critical components of making sure that when that person's ready to do something is that they think of you. And that's staying in front of them on a consistent basis. And so when we talk about a complete marketing plan, that addresses both the top of the sales funnel, lead gen activities, so getting advertising out there to get people engaged with you, but it also involves that body of the sales funnel, that drip marketing that's going out, and how are you making sure your name's getting out there. So we've got a great presentation today to talk through some of the resources that are available to you through IAMS to access that. And before getting into that, I do want to take a couple of minutes to chat a little bit about some of the additional ways that we can help partner with you in your business. First up is our new producer builders. And as you can see there, we've got a variety of point levels, but if you're a new producer with IAMS, or if you're looking at us, as you get going with us, you can see that as you hit different production tiers with us, there are a variety of different things that you can tap into, whether it's additional marketing support, trips, or even just cash. And so if you've got questions on that, feel free to reach out, talk to one of the life sales directors over here or annuity sales directors as well. They can answer any questions that you have. Phone number is 800-255-5055. And in addition to that, if you're doing some type of marketing that's working really, really well for you, give us a call and talk to us about that as well. And we can apply credits to those as well. In addition to that, we've got our referred producer program. So if you're currently working with us and you know of an agent who maybe isn't quite happy where they're at or might be a fit for one of the programs that we have, send them our way. Not only will you get a bonus when they get contracted, but on an ongoing basis, you'll continue to receive additional referral dollars on their production. You don't have to do anything. We'll take care of all the service. And so it's a great way to generate an additional revenue flow for you. In addition to that, we've got our marketing reimbursement. For every 100,000 of qualifying indexed annuity premium, you'll accrue an additional $100 of marketing reimbursement, and an additional $200 for every 100,000 of single premium life or traditional life insurance premium. And if you've got questions, you can reach out and talk to the sales team and they can give you some more information on that. In addition to that, we've got our back office support. Now, I know that's not necessarily a super exciting thing to talk about, but I do think over the last couple of years with carriers moving some of their staff to remote or not being fully staffed, I think it has put a spotlight on the importance of having an IMO that's really focused on service. And whether that's on the front end from a sales case design standpoint to new business commissions, et cetera, I think we do it better than most. And so I'd encourage you, if you haven't tested us out from a service standpoint, I would certainly encourage you to do that. One of the ways that we provide a higher level of service is through the integration of technology. And that's actually part of what we're going to be talking about here a little bit later in the presentation, is leveraging technology. But you are able to do e-applications on our site. I'm highlighting Firelight here. We also have iPipeline that covers the majority of our life insurance companies as well. but you can access this right on our website. So if you want to do e-applications for annuities or life insurance, you can do it right there. You just need to be contracted with us in order to get access to that platform. If you've got questions about that, certainly feel free to reach out and talk to one of our sales directors over here. In addition to that, we've got our creative marketing solutions. And I think creative really is the key word here. I think as we continue to march down the path of getting back to normal, I think most of us realize that it's a new normal. And so one of the things that we've seen is that you've got to be a little bit more creative with what your marketing plan is and how you're getting in front of people. And that's part of why we're on the call today. One of the things that I want to highlight is a marketing analysis process that we offer. So we've got a great team over here and do a ton of custom work. We also have a number of strategic marketing partnerships that we work with. And our custom marketing analysis process is a great solution for those of you who aren't quite sure what to do when it comes to marketing, or maybe you've got a couple of different things that you're doing marketing wise and you feel like you need to do more, but you're just not quite sure what the answer to that is. We offer a complimentary marketing analysis, and what we do in that process is we will go through and identify what is your target market geographically, where do you want to market to, what does your business look like, what do you want it to look like, how are you currently marketing, what types of marketing assets do you have, and then we'll go through and put together a customized marketing plan for you. And I think that's important when it comes to marketing. For most advisors, marketing and prospecting is one of the bigger challenges they have in their business. And so just like when you're sitting down with a potential prospect and they're talking to you about whatever their financial goals are, whether it's not outliving income in retirement or mitigating market risk, you're going to go through and do a needs analysis with them and come to and put together a plan. It's the same thing with your marketing. And so I'll go ahead and I think we've got everybody that's engaged with this. I'm going to go and close this down, but it's a great, again, free service that we provide. And I think it gives a lot of clarity and gives you a different perspective on, what ideas might make the most sense for your business. So moving along, as I mentioned with the IAMS site, ton of resources on here. I'd mentioned the e-applications, but if you want to run quotes, if you want to get access to marketing information, we've also got our sales resource library on there, which I think is a huge resource. We've got hundreds, literally hundreds of different point of sale pieces that you can utilize with your marketing, not carrier related, so you can customize it with your own logo and brand. But it covers everything from basics about annuities and life insurance to more complex topics like premium finance and advanced markets arena. So you just have to be contracted with us to be able to create a login, and you can get access to all of that absolutely for free. Again, with technology, one of the things that we integrate with is Retirement Analyzer. We also integrate with Stonewood on the life insurance side, but great platforms that take the idea of impact of taxation or am I going to outlive my income, and it really boils it down into a simple and straightforward conversation for that prospect to understand. And one of the things I think a lot of the consumer base expects when they're meeting with an advisor is, one, they want to deal with a real person, but I think they also like the idea that technology is involved to help figure out what that solution is for an individual. And so both of these platforms, Retirement Analyzer and Stonewood, are very effective at articulating the concepts that you're talking about, and you can get access to it completely free through IAMS. And so if you've got interest in either of those, certainly feel free to reach out, talk to a sales director over here. Numbers 800-255-5055. In addition to that, we have set up an RIA, IAMS Wealth Management. We did that a few years ago. We've seen significant growth on it. And I think right now is a great time. If you've ever thought about adding AUM to your business, right now is a great time to take a look at that. Charles and his team do an amazing job from a service and support level with our advisors. And so if you've got questions on that, certainly feel free to reach out to him or Duncan, and they can talk to you a little bit more about that. In addition to that, we're very excited to be talking about our IAMS incentive trip. It's a Mediterranean cruise, as you can see here, and still time to qualify. So this the qualification period runs through June 30th of this year. And as you can see there, we're going to be taking a Mediterranean cruise around the boot of Italy, all concierge level, very high end. Um, if you're currently working with us and you want to see what your point standings are, certainly feel free to reach out, talk to one of the sales directors over here. They can answer any questions that you have. In addition to that, we do have our life and annuity academies scheduled coming up here over the first half of the year. Very excited to be getting back to live trainings. I think there's a significant amount of value that comes from being able to spend a couple of days working on your business. So often we spend our times working in the business, prospecting, marketing, meeting with clients, all those types of things. And so the ability to take a couple of days and just focus on what are things that are going to help drive growth within my practice, I think is paramount to having consistent success. And so I'm going to go ahead and launch our second poll of the day. Our next event is going to be in partnership with North American. That's going to be April 6th through the 8th. Again, that's April 6th through the 8th. If you have interest in that, make sure to check the box. I can have a sales director reach out to you. But an amazing event. We fly you out, we take care of everything. And like I said, there's significant opportunity to learn new things with marketing, prospecting, sales concepts, et cetera. The other aspect about that as well is I think it's a great opportunity to meet and network with other advisors. Everybody's doing different things, and you never know where you're going to come up with, not even necessarily a big idea, but just even a small idea that can make a profound impact on your practice. So next one is in April. We've also got another one coming up in June as well. But definitely, and I'll go ahead and close this down here in a minute. If you have interest, go ahead and select the box, and then we can have somebody reach out to you as far as registration. So we'll go ahead and shut this down, and then get on here to the main event. So 1 second here, and I'll get this switched over. So while Diana's getting her presentation teed up, so I've got Diana Cabrices, who is the VP of Enterprise Development with Snappy Kraken. And so Snappy Kraken is one of our strategic marketing partnerships that we integrate with. And part of the reason why we do that, it really goes back to what I was talking about before with your prospecting sales funnel. You've got to make sure you're addressing each segment of that funnel if you want to generate a consistent flow of prospects month in and month out. And so Snappy Kraken provides a variety of services that Diana's going to go take a deeper dive into. But whether it's you need help at the top of the sales funnel, whether you need help with lead nurturing, they offer a variety of services to help generate that consistent flow. And then one of the bigger overarching things is content, right? Because it's not just about what is that market that you want to get in front of, it's what am I going to say to them and how do I develop that? And that's, I think, an area where Snappy Kraken shines in that you don't have to think through that. They put together a variety of different campaigns that you can simply integrate with and utilize. So Diana, with that, I'll go ahead and hand it over to you and let you get started.
Awesome. Thank you so very much for that introduction. And it sounds like you have a lot of great things going on at your network, and those trips and different opportunities. It definitely aligns, Curtis, with just our approach. We're always trying to make advisors better. We're always trying to get everyone to sort of quote unquote level up in their marketing, in their business, and in their growth goals. And I'm really thrilled to have the opportunity to be here with all of you on this Monday morning. It's also a holiday, so the fact that you're here and you're with me, it means a lot. I also will commit to making sure that you get some value out of today's presentation. So without further ado, I will go ahead and share my screen. And one of the very first things I want to accomplish together is I want everyone to understand, just from a high level, aside from marketing, right? What is Snappy Kraken?
Oh, hey, Diana, it's still showing on the screen share. You need to, it's still not showing your screen.
Yep. How about now? Can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, you're good.
There we go. All right, so I'll click play Awesome. And from a high level, what is Snappy Kraken? We'll make sure that you understand that, how we work with advisors and agents and how we help you grow. And then we'll get technical together today. I want to take a few minutes and actually get into our platform, launch some campaigns together, show you some content, and also help you understand where do we bring in the strategy and the human component, which is so essential in any marketing tool that you use in your business. At the very end, I'll certainly open it up for any Q&A if you have some questions about what you've seen or where to go to next, what kind of discount can you get by being a part of IAMS, which yes, there is a discount. And then of course, throughout the webinar, folks, if anyone wants to stop, put in the chat a question, raise your hand, feel free to do so. I'll keep my eyes on that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get her kicked off. So first things first, I'm very curious. I know I can't see all of you, but I am curious, how many of you had ever heard of Snappy Kraken before today's webinar? Or maybe you haven't and you just heard the name and you thought, what in the heck is Snappy Kraken? And what did that do, right? It created that instant curiosity for you. And that is exactly what we want, not only with our own brand as a company, but also with our content that agents and advisors like yourselves are using so that you can do the same thing in your marketing. You can create that curiosity. You can get people to stop in their scroll and want to send a response or want to download your guide or your helpful retirement checklist. Whatever it may be, we're trying to help position you as that person as well. So Snappy Kraken is an automated growth program built exclusively for financial advisors and agents. We started back in 2016, and we only work in this industry. We do not focus on any other vertical, and financial advisor marketing truly is our bread and butter. In fact, our founding team, this is not their first run at marketing services for advisors. Collectively, they've got about 40 plus years of experience, and we have experts on our team ranging from creative and design experts to financial content and copywriting experts all across the board. So we focus on 3 things to help you grow with our program. That first thing is going to be original content. So what do I mean by original content, folks? Every campaign that we create at Snappy Kraken that you'll have access to as a member if you join us, it feels as though you sat down and you created the content on your own. It doesn't feel like you're just resharing or repurposing, financial content that maybe Forbes wrote or Bloomberg or other of those major financial literature sources that you do find a lot of advisors slapping their logo on and sharing, maybe adding a sentence or two about their thoughts. We instead want everything that you produce or you publish from our program to feel as though you took the time to create it yourself. That gets you the engagement and the level of, leads and shares and likes and comments, right? That's what is going to get you effective marketing. That's what's going to help you build relationships. So that's one of the most important pillars about what we do. The second, though, is the automation. If any of you are familiar with marketing automation tools, there's a reason that they were created, right? In today's day and age, you don't have time to follow up personally with every prospect. You certainly don't have time to write an email to every client every single week or month, but you have to stay in communication and in contact with both. How can you do that at scale? That's where technology comes into play. So it kind of makes you part robot, right? But the problem with automation today and where we're different is that a lot of the tools that allow you to automate marketing, you're automating that third-party content, right? You're automating that content that doesn't feel like it's from you. And so you kind of get that scale, but then you lose that genuineness. And that is so, so important for getting good engagement in your marketing. Now we combine those two. In a way, at Snappy Kraken, you're not just getting a technology like a Constant Contact or a HubSpot, but you're also getting a full-blown marketing agency behind you. All the content we create is done in-house at a sliver of the cost. And I'll be sure to cover pricing today as well. But the last piece before we move forward, folks, is arguably as important as original content and technology to automate is for you, proven results is even more important. What do I mean by proven results? We are extremely methodical with everything we do at Snappy Kraken. This is partly why, we definitely wanted to partner with the folks at IAMS, and they found value in our tool. But from the campaigns we create on a weekly basis for you, to the way that we're coaching you on calls and workshops and one-on-one chats, everything that is done across the board is very, very strategic. It's all based on a framework. Without a framework, if you have access to a massive content library where you can automate whatever you want, whenever you want to, and you lack that true expert marketing mind or marketing expertise, then you can absolutely go the wrong way that you want to go in your marketing, right? Framework is everything. We're going to look at that framework, but before we do, I also want to help you all understand that we've talked to a lot of financial professionals over the years, and we know primarily where your pain points are. We built our entire program around it, and what you find today at Snappy Kraken certainly won't be what you find in a year from now. We are always innovating and pivoting and changing our program and process to fit your needs, but at its core, a lot of the times that we've spoken with advisors, we've been told, look, the content we're using, we're just not getting a response, right? Nobody's really replying, nobody's really liking it or commenting. It's canned, it's bland. Clearly, it's not really doing anything to get them curious. That's problem number one. If you identify with this problem, please hop in the chat. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. The second problem that we find pretty common is maybe you just spent a lot of time on your own marketing experiments, because in theory, yeah, I can do a little social here, a little advertising there. I'll write up a few emails. It all sounds really good. It sounds like you have your grasp on it, but then you might become overwhelmed and you realize if none of this stuff is connected or working together, I've just put in a lot of time that's really not going to pay off. And that happens a lot. There's also the burning loads of cash that happens. I know there's a lot of fancy marketing programs out there, not throwing any shade. I know there's some good effective ones, but a lot of the times those silver bullet marketing promises, they're not really going to pay off as you would have expected them to. Marketing is certainly a long game, and you have to make sure that your communications are actually strategic. They actually were designed to make you stand out. The internet is overflooded with information. If you're not standing out in your marketing, then you're not going to get that engagement. Finally, a lot of the advisors we spoke to, this is especially true around when the pandemic first hit, you weren't doing anything online. Maybe you're used to dinner seminars, or you're used to client events, or you're doing mailers, and that's worked for you all along until everything went digital and you had to pivot very, very quickly. And the ones that didn't are the ones that were set back. So you're all here with me today. I will take it as though you definitely reacted appropriately to the change in environment and the communication styles. Let's help you go there even further, right? Let's help you get even more from your digital marketing process and strategy in your business. You'll see a few things here on the right about our program. I will show you today, not just talk, we'll actually walk the walk together. We've got strategic setting content that works, that evokes curiosity, that gets people to open that email, that gets people to book that meeting. I'm excited to show you that. We ask for 60 to 90 minutes a month. All of our advisors and our agent members, if you can put that time in, whether it's you or someone you're outsourcing to in your office, you will see success in our program. In fact, ROI sweet spot typically happens around 6 months. For some, it might take 12. Again, marketing is a long game. Finally, all the data and content in our program, it's backed by data. So every year we take every campaign, every subject line, every social image, and we analyze it, and we give you all that data. It's actually called our State of Digital Marketing Benchmark Report. We will definitely make sure everyone here on the call gets a copy of that. And then finally, ready-made. That goes right into our framework, and we're going to talk about that next. Now, I mentioned something a moment ago about how you can have access to a content library. You can get the technology to automate emails and social posts. But if you don't have a real framework wrapped around what you're doing, then you're not going to get where you want to get to with your marketing. We're all here to grow obviously our assets under management, grow the amount of accounts that we have, grow the client base that we have, but also grow in our relationships with our clients, grow the referral streamline, grow the amount of awareness we have to ourselves and our brands. That's what we mean by grow. So looking at this framework, before we hop into our technology, let's help you understand what it is. And then when we start looking at our campaigns and our process, it'll click for you. This is the Cold to Gold framework. This was created by Snappy Kraken. And what this framework is all about is when you think digitally, digital marketing, digital relationships, digital handshakes, right? Digital client acquisitions or prospect meetings. It all starts with getting noticed online. You can't get in a meeting with a prospect on your calendar. You can't have that digital hello or handshake if you don't start with getting noticed. They have to know you exist. Now that, to be successful online, takes bold, unique, and strategically designed content. It's got to be a subject line so catchy enough that it's going to make them want to open that email over the hundreds of other emails they likely have sitting unread in their inbox that day. It's got to be a social image bold enough to stand out on a social feed to get them to stop and want to click on it and find out more. It's got to have that stunning side to it, that visual aesthetic, and that is super important. And that's where a lot of us, and especially in this industry, that's just not our area of expertise, right? If you've thought about the way marketing has been traditionally done in financial services, you'll probably agree with me that it could certainly use a facelift, right? We're a little bit behind. You find a lot of the same logos and colors, and for good reason. I mean, there is value in that compass or that mountaintop or that lighthouse point, right? You want people to go shooting for the stars. There's value in blue and greens. We're talking about money. We're talking about well-being. But there's a whole lot of value in considering what other industries do with their marketing and how that can take your marketing even farther in our industry. That's what we're doing a lot of here. So we use those tips and tricks to help you get noticed, but getting noticed is just step one. How after you get noticed, can you actually get someone online to give you their information, right? How can you get that opportunity? Well, you have to have something in it for the prospect. There's always got to be something in it for them. They could care less about you, your strategy, and what you're all about. They actually care more about what's in it for them. So every type of campaign that's designed to help you get noticed and earn contacts, and for you more marketing specific folks, we are talking about lead generation here. You've got to have something compelling and relevant, like an offer, a flow chart on when you should claim Social Security, right? What does a 5-year difference really mean for you in the long run? Or hidden tax opportunities. What do you need to know right now about the ever-changing tax environment and how that can help save you money, right? Those are some examples of compelling and relevant offers. What they're going to give you in exchange is their contact information, their email address, in some cases, their phone number, their name. But if you know how different it is to touch with someone online versus meet them in person, shake their hand, maybe you share a bottle of wine at a seminar, that is such a different type of initial relationship, right? This is still very cold. This is all digital. Someone opting into your campaign does not mean they're ready to do business with you yet. So that's why we still have 2 more steps here before we even get to the idea of winning that person as a client. And between these 2 steps, folks, you could be looking at a week long until you win. You could be looking at 6 months long. You could be looking at 2 years long until you win. That's because everybody is going to operate on their own time. It might be that the market's crashed and they're really feeling that loss in their portfolio. Now they want to talk to you. Or it might be that they're getting divorced. They have a life transition. Now they want to talk to you. And again, that could have taken time. That's why this is where most advisors drop off in their marketing. Because building credibility and starting conversations, that takes education, that takes nurturing. And again, it could take weeks, months, maybe even years. When that person is ready, Guess who is top of mind? You. And that's why you don't give up on your marketing, because you want to be that thought leader in their minds, that person where you know and they know when the time is right, they'll be reaching out for your services. So if you win that client, wonderful. You'll see in yellow there that yes, your personal sales process is going to run in that area, right? And we're not here to talk about sales today, but marketing and sales are brother and sister. I'll give you one example and then I'll move on just so we can shorten this up. But marketing is the energy that you bring to a call when a prospect rings your cell phone. If you answer that call and you don't have a good energy, or maybe you're in a bad mood because something happened and they feel that, you just lowered your probability of actually winning that client. Believe it or not, as silly as you might think that that is. Same thing about your office, physical. If your office stinks and a prospect comes in for a meeting, the chances of them wanting to come back and do more business with you are pretty low. So those are experiences. That's what marketing is all about. And they all translate into the probability that you're going to win that person as a client. So whether in person or online, that's what marketing is about, creating a great experience and influencing a higher probability of a sale. Once you make that sale, now you have a client. Awesome. What can we do with our clients? Because marketing doesn't end at just winning a client. We want to turn our clients into raving clients. That's the cold to gold, from stranger to raving client. And what happens when you have raving clients? They create a steady streamline of referrals back to you. How can you deepen those relationships aside from what you're already doing, everyone, with your clients and the value that you bring and the financial expertise and assuredness that you bring to their lives? Content, excellent content, newsletters, quarterly market updates, timely emails. What's going on right now in the world? How does that affect you? Those are ways you can deepen your relationships, get them sharing all of your content, and open up that streamline of referrals. So I took a few minutes on this. I promise we're wrapping up with the framework, but this is such an important foundation to anything that we do, even for our own members. The moment you sign on with Snappy Kraken, you're going to get a good bit of coaching on this. And now it's going to make what we're going to start looking at now even more sense. I'm going to hop into our platform and I'm going to show you around and launch a few campaigns. I've used the word campaigns a lot, so I want to make sure everyone here is on the same page about what that means. Now, at Snappy Kraken, we build multi-step, multi-channel, fully coordinated, automated marketing campaigns. That was a lot of words there. Multi-step. Let's start there. Let's pretend that this campaign is on hidden tax opportunities. Right, those campaigns are performing really, really well right now. Hidden tax opportunities. Now, you come into this campaign and you launch. And if you look at the right-hand side, folks, you've got 21 days of activities going on from the moment you launch. You've got an email going out to your prospect list every week. You've got a social post going out on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. You even have some website content that you can leverage. What's happening here is we're trying to get you noticed, right? That first step in the framework. We're trying to let people know you have something valuable. You have some insights on hidden tax opportunities. Again, that's super timely right now. Timely, compelling, and relevant. Those are the keywords. Every week, the email looks totally different from week 1 to week 2 to week 3. It's never the same. Same with the social content. So why do we do this over just one really good maybe article or white paper on hidden tax opportunities? Why do I need all these emails or social posts? Well, the reality is, remember going back to information overload. Everyone, and if you can open your inbox or your social accounts on your phone right now, there's a lot going on. Not everyone's going to see that email on day 1. Not everyone's going to engage with that email on day 7. Maybe only 10% more of them finally open it on day 14. Right? And that's the purpose. We need to get as much exposure as we can on any given topic so that we can get as many people interested in the topic and exposed to it and your campaign and your brand as possible. Because if they don't commit on day 1, day 7, day 14, day 21, they might just commit on month 6, right? And that's why it's so nice to have turnkey content and automation, so you're not having to actually worry about creating everything. You just got to worry about making sure you launch it every month. So this runs for about a month. Most of our members are launching about 1 lead gen campaign a month that looks just like this, maybe a newsletter, maybe a timely email. I'll get into the platform in just a second to show you the different types of campaigns we have. What's happening when someone actually engages with that email or clicks on that social post? We're actually driving them over to the left, and we're driving them to a landing opt-in page. We host, design, and build these out for you. Everything in this campaign is already done. It's just about personalizing it and launching it. But what's happening here is we're trying to get them to opt in. Remember, get notice is step 1, earn that contact information is step 2. If they opt in on that page, it's because they knew they were going to get something valuable in exchange. So if you're following along below, that's the very next step for this prospect. They're going to get taken to a page where they know that guide is going to hit their inbox. They can click a button to start reading it right away. And finally, they can book a meeting with you. So we're kind of teasing the idea of a meeting all in one campaign. Get noticed, earn a contact, build some credibility with them, and start a conversation. That doesn't mean everyone will do it right away, right? Set some expectations here. This is very top of funnel, right? Lead gen. That means people don't have as much of a relationship with you yet to really want to go book a meeting, but we want to start planting the seeds here. So our system is smart, folks. Based on their action, it will know what to spit back out. If they book a meeting, great. They're going to get a follow-up email. You'll get a notification. You're going to know someone from a Snappy campaign booked a meeting. Or if they just go to the download, that's fine. You can see we have 3 follow-ups embedded for the next 14 days. Again, that's completely automated. You don't have to worry about it. That's how you can scale your marketing and build more relationships. Now, I'm going to answer a couple of our frequently asked questions at this point, because some of you might be wondering, Diana, where are those emails going? Who's actually getting those emails? When you start with a system like Snappy Kraken, you are asked to import all of your contacts that you want to market to between your clients and your prospects. At the very least, you should have those 2 lists separated. Some of you might go even further in segmentation, which is what we're going to coach you on as well when you start with us, because that's where you really start to get better results. But for those of you for now, at the very least, you can tell the system, I want this campaign on hidden tax opportunities to go to this list of my prospects, or this subset of my prospects, or all of your prospects if you feel they would get value from it. And that's where those emails are going. On the right-hand side here when you're actually promoting the campaign. Same with your social posts. This is all organic, so we're relying on your audiences, who you've connected with online, and then your website followers and traffic as well. Now you might be wondering, what about if I don't have a good contact list? Or what if I barely have any social followers? This sounds all great and fine, but if I launch this, I'm practically marketing to nobody. We certainly don't want that. So we have built out, if you look at the very bottom of that square on the right, boost your campaign's reach with advertising. So we do have an additional service that we provide to Snappy Kraken members who are in that boat, right? That boat of really not having a good audience, and you're hungry to build up an email list faster, and you're hungry to build up a social following faster. And that's going to be where you've got to start thinking about a paid strategy in your marketing, i.e. Facebook advertising. I won't talk a whole lot about this today. We can certainly talk about it if some of you want some one-on-one calls with us, but we can run ads for you on Facebook. We're going to target brand new people who've never liked you before. They're not in your email list, and we do all of the legwork for you. All of those leads that you get from those ads are exclusively yours, and you can now use the rest of our system here to continue to nurture them. And we help you qualify and nurture them. There's a lot of guidance here along the way. Okay, now we're actually going to do some walking at this point. I've done a lot of talking. Let's get into our technology, folks, and let's see how this works. right? From your perspective, if you were to join a company or a program like this, what are you going to be doing? How often are you going to do it? What is the ease of use here? We know how important that is. Just quickly checking the chat and taking a swig of water to see if there are any questions that might have come through. And it looks like we're all in the clear. Okay. All right. So if you can see my screen, here we are inside of the Snappy Kraken program. I'm going to note a few things before we start launching campaigns here. First things first, as I start to scroll down, you'll notice the 130 plus campaigns that we have inside of our platform to date on varying different topics: taxes, Medicare, money mindset, right? Not just pure finance. We want to talk about lifestyle, affinities, what's going on with the headlines in the news, Ukraine, women's money blocks, estate planning, market updates from Q4. Every quarter we drop an update newsletter, government retirement, 401k rollovers, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a few ways you get to organize the content. So if you look over to the right, here's our cold to gold framework. Remember, that's the foundation to all that we do here. You can organize content just by that. We've got different types of campaigns. So I talked a lot about lead gen, but the reality is we've got event campaigns, newsletter campaigns. Again, we've got some single topic emails, etc. And then by audience. So we know not everyone is targeting the same audience. What campaign might work for the majority may not work for you if you've really hunkered down into a very much of a niche model or niche service offering. So you might just be working with business owners, or maybe you're trying to target women, right? Women consume more financial content than men on average. You could definitely be speaking directly to them with content that's designed for them. Medical professionals, dentists, pre-retirees, retirees, and more. I want to show you how easy and simple it is to grab a campaign and personalize it. Before I do though, and because this is a Snappy Kraken deep dive, I first want you to go through the experience as a brand new member would. It all starts with actually learning before you start launching. So once you become a Snappy Kraken member, there's a new member roadmap we'll have you follow. And it's pretty simple. It's, adding in your logo, adding in your contacts. We do sync with Redtail, Wealthbox, and Salesforce for any of you that might use those tools for your contact management database. And essentially just getting your account set up for success. I apologize, I have an angry little chihuahua that's barking in the background if you can hear that. Hopefully it's not too much of a distraction for all of you. But it starts with a couple of workshops. We'll have you join us, learn the platform, start launching, and then whenever you need help, we've got office hours available. We've got live chat at the bottom right-hand corner of our platform, and you can even book one-on-one calls when you need it. Depending exactly on what type of help you're looking for, we'll make sure that it's a productive, short and sweet call so you can get what you need. Okay, now that we've laid a little bit of that foundation, the last thing I'll show here is the fact that we also want to make sure on a monthly basis, what out of our library is the most timely and would make the most impact in your marketing that month. So every month, actually 1 month in advance, you can see this says March 2022, our members get a marketing mix magazine from us. And essentially what we're doing is what's hot this month to market and what exact campaigns are those in the library so you can easily start using them. And finally, we'll touch on a few other things, making sure you're launching our essentials and a volatile marketing playbook. This past month and a half, 2 months, there's been market corrections, there's been volatility. What campaigns can you use that would really speak to that specifically and help your clients and your prospects at that time? Of course, we would be remiss if we didn't include the cold to gold strategy. So you're going to see this a lot if you become a member with us. Okay, now how do you actually get in and start launching? And then how can you start tracking? That's a very important part of any marketing strategy is looking at results, ROI. Where should you maybe hone in a little further? Or maybe where should you dial it back a little bit? Now, I know a lot of us on the call, we have a very wide spread of focus in our businesses. I thought I would show you something specific to life insurance, but I definitely want to make sure everyone knows there's content in here to support both sides of the house, whether you're securities licensed or you're just insurance or you're duly registered, you're going to find content in here that will certainly fit your needs. Now, when you click on any given campaign in this library, and I will click on this one, you're going to get a few pieces of information right out the gate. And that is essentially a quick video from our team. You can see over on the left what's included. This looks like the diagram I showed you before. A couple of screenshots, how it looks on social or on a landing page. And you'll easily be able to see if this has been FINRA reviewed and if you want to just take a quick preview look. Now, 99% of our campaigns are FINRA reviewed. So that means whenever you go to share this campaign with compliance, which I will touch on, I know how important that is, then it's going to include that FINRA letter. I might be mistaken, Curtis, feel free to chime in if I'm wrong, but I believe the majority of us here today, if we do have a duly registered or we broker through any firm, many of you might be working with the leaders group, which is great. We are approved there, and I'll show you what that compliance process looks like. Now, I just took a campaign, and in fact, I'm not going to take this one. I'm going to take this one. And I just told the system, I'm ready to start personalizing this so I can get an approval and I can launch it. All you have to do is click begin personalizing. And all we do on our end is we lay out all the landing pages, we lay out the emails, we lay out the social posts, the website content, everything that we told you would come with this campaign, we put it on one simple timeline. And now in this timeline, you get to open up the elements, you get to view them, and you get to personalize them. You can change the copy, you can add copy. Now these are turnkey, these have been thoroughly tested, designed. We don't usually have most of our members doing too many changes, but once you're ready, then you come down here and you download a PDF for compliance. Whatever channel that you use for compliance, you'll just follow that channel. So if that's emailing it to compliance or that's uploading it to whatever compliance portal that they might have you upload content to, you follow your own processes. We just help you actually create a document for them. And these are extremely thorough, folks. These have screenshots, these have explainers, these have difference highlighting, the FINRA letter. Your compliance team is going to know exactly what changes you made from the FINRA reviewed version very, very quickly. Now, where would a prospect start on a campaign like this? They're going to start with that first email or that first social post, right? And these emails, they're very conversational, they're simple, they're constantly reinforcing value, and they're enticing people to get to that landing page so they can download a very important guide, right? In this case, why high earners are overlooking their most valuable asset. And this is again about life and disability insurance. Your email signature will pull in, your disclosures, all of that is what you set up with us when you start, and that gets automatically pulled into every campaign where it should go. The bottom of the landing page, the bottom of the email, etc. Now, if they actually clicked and engaged with the email or the social post, then they're going to arrive here. These are those landing opt-in pages. Now, this is again a lead gen campaign. It's short and sweet, right? We want them to know exactly who we're targeting, right? What they're going to learn, a quick preview, and a quick way to opt in. Now, if I scroll down, this is where your logo would be pulled in. I have a dummy logo here. It really doesn't look that great because I just grabbed it from Google, but we can see here where your personal information will come. And then as a prospect, I can simply click read now. By the way, all of this is mobile friendly. Now, if they opt in to read, you now have their contact information. Now, you might have already had it if they were part of the email subscribers that you added to this campaign from your own contact database. Or it might be that they were on your prospect list, but they haven't talked to you in 2 years, and now you're warming them up again. Those are both leads. Those are both opportunities. Or they're coming from social. Someone shared an email, someone shared a social post, they went to your website, they clicked on that banner, all the different avenues. That's why we have these built out to be multi-channel to get you that exposure. Now they can start reading or they can book some time with you to chat. You could certainly link this to your own Calendly if you would want to use your own booking tool. And then we're driving them to this, what we call a lead magnet, right? This is that compelling and relevant offer that I talked about earlier. So this is an entire guide designed to do a few things. These are designed to be precisely vague enough where they're going to get answers to their burning questions on the topic. We're going to deliver on the promises we made in our marketing here. But they're also going to finish reading this feeling like, okay, this stuff clearly goes deep. This person clearly knows what they're talking about. And now I actually have even more questions. We call that open loops, folks. We want them to leave it feeling, I need to go talk to this person. I'm left almost like a cliffhanger in a good movie, right? I'm left at the end feeling like I need more. All the way across these lead magnets, they're going to be able to book some time with you. This again is going to route to our own form, but once more, if you wanted to route to your own Calendly or Acuity scheduling tool, whatever you use, you can certainly have that set up that way. I'll quickly go down here. I know I didn't show some of the other emails. They're all pretty short and sweet and effective and all designed in a similar way. I'll just choose one of these social posts. Now, some of you might be thinking, why in the world would I want to launch a campaign with this crazy looking owl? What is that going to do for my business? That might look silly or even, hey, a little corny. I don't think I want to trust in this. But I promise you folks, it's this type of content that gets people to stop in their scroll. And that's the point. We want to get engaged here. Now, once you go and you are personalized, you got it approved through compliance, you come back in the system, tell it the day and time you want the campaign to launch, and now you're going to assign your contacts. In our system, contact management's pretty simple. Again, we sync with Redtail, Wealthbox, and Salesforce. You just come in here and tell the system, all right, I want these 3 prospect lists to be subscribed. And when you're ready to see how the campaign's performing, you simply hop back into the tool, you click on it, and we can see here as it starts running real time what the engagement's looking like on a contact level as well, where people are coming from, how many times they're opening emails, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very robust. There's a more aggregate view here in the dashboard for those of you running multiple campaigns. Again, we ask for 60 to 90 minutes a month. Most of our advisors might launch 2 to 3 campaigns a month to follow that framework, what's hot, what's relevant, what's timely right now. Now, I also want to help you understand, folks, where can you learn more about Snappy Kraken? That wraps us up for the technology demo. I would have loved to show you so much more, but time is not on our side at the moment, and I've already gotten so much of your time today. I really appreciate everyone. Out the gate, right, if you were to become a Snappy Kraken member, you just saw one campaign today. And that one campaign with the emails and the landing pages and just the entire comprehensiveness of that campaign. We know if you were to go to any given marketing agency and you were to ask them to build that campaign, they're going to quote you anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 for just that one campaign. We have about 130 campaigns like that to date. So when you become a member, you're going to get at least access to $500,000 worth of proven, ready to use, fully automated content, both evergreen and timely. And then every month you're getting about 5 to 7 new campaigns. Again, the value here is not stagnant. You're getting more and more value every single month. There's a lot of wonderful things I could say about our credibility and really how we've stirred things up in the market. I won't spend too much time here, nor will I spend a lot of time on our numbers. This is certainly something we could dive deeper into together. Across the board, we are exceeding industry averages when it comes to marketing, and we're proud of it. But I'd rather show you what other advisors are saying. This to me is more meaningful. There's a lot more where this came from. We'd be happy to share case studies and more testimonials. But I want to hone in on what Michael Gary said at the bottom. And he said, this is more response than any other communication I've had in 14 years. This is something that we hear a lot of. And that just goes back to some of those marketing tactics I share with you. You've got to stand out. You've got to evoke curiosity. You've got to create open loops and cliffhangers and really want people coming back for more. That's what we're doing here for you. So how can you learn more? What's pricing like? I'm going to take you to a quick page here. I would also encourage all of you to follow along with me if you can. But if you go to partner, I'm so sorry, that was the wrong link here. If you go to partner.snappykraken.com/IAMS, I'll say that one more time, partner.snappykraken.com/IAMS, then you will land on this page and you will see here, there's more information about Snappy Kraken, okay? This page is specifically built for all of you. And if you're to book a demo along any place on this page, then our team's gonna know exactly where you're coming from. And we're gonna give you up to 20% off of our program. So what's our program priced? On the street value, if you decide to commit to a full year with Snappy Kraken, it's $225 a month. But because you're with IAMS, it's $191 a month. Usually there's also a setup fee if you want to go month to month. Again, if you're with IAMS, we can completely waive that, or we can take 20% off. It really depends on if you want to go month to month or if you want to go 12 month. So again, I'd encourage all of you to go to partner.snappykraken.com/IAMS. And thank you again, Curtis, for having me on. I will go ahead and end my part and definitely open it up for any questions if anyone has any.
Well, thank you, Diana. You did an amazing job, and I think everybody on the call today can see there's a lot more with this platform than what we had time for today. I mean, we could spend a couple hours going through all the different campaigns and features, et cetera. But I think the core point to drive home is that you've got to have ongoing marketing. And when you think about that, where am I going to get that content? And Diana made a good point. I mean, you can go have somebody build customized campaigns for you. It gets insanely expensive. And so the ability to have an entire library of campaigns at your fingertips and be able to have new content coming in on a monthly basis is very, very valuable. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll launch as we're wrapping up here, last poll, which is, if you see some things in here, you'd like to have a conversation with one of the sales directors over here, and we'll also get circulated out that link that Diana had mentioned as well, to schedule a consult with Snappy Kraken. We're here to help you. The other thing I would mention to everyone as well is our creative team over here is very well versed with Snappy Kraken. So even if this is something that you have interest in, but you're like, gosh, I don't know if I've got time to get everything set up, the creative team over here can work with you to help set these campaigns up. So just a significant amount of value. And as we're sitting here at the beginning of the year, I think there's significant opportunity to add additional marketing touches to the prospect list that you have, as well as if you want to boost it. Let me see here. I think we had one question here that came in at the end. Let's see here. Oh, so there's a question about uploading lists. So we can help you with that. If you've got a list of people, I would imagine you probably, Diane, just need that in like a CSV format, right? So if an agent's got a list, we can get that and shoot it over to you guys or
Correct.
get it uploaded.
You're right. If you're not using any of those CRMs I mentioned and you have something else, a CSV file will work just fine.
Yeah. So if you've got just an Excel spreadsheet list of people, then we can help you with that to get in the right format. So with that, I know we're right at our time, so I'll go ahead and close this down. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, really appreciate everybody taking some time with us this morning, and hope you all have an amazing rest of the week, and we'll be circling up with you as well. Thanks.
Thanks so much, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.